Hi, everybody. Sam here. Hope you're having a great day wherever you're at in the world today. I am so excited to be here with Sarah today. We're going to have a fun conversation. If you have been around Safe Heart Connections for a while, we are so glad you came back for another micro interview. If you are new and you're not really sure what Safe Heart Connections is, we're an online community group for women who are working on learning to love ourselves more fully so we can have the life that we were meant to live. And Sarah and I were talking a little bit before I hit record. And actually, we're talking about some similarities we have. And she's got a tip, thought, or piece of advice that I'm really excited to hear her share. And we'll have a little bit of a conversation after. So, Sarah, introduce yourself a little bit and then take it away.
So, my name is Sarah. I am the owner and founder of a really beautiful company called K3Uk Coaching. And what we offer is support and guidance for people that feel a little bit stuck. Like you've got to the certain point of things where you're expecting them to be slightly different, or you're expecting a bigger outcome, or aspirations and goals just aren't really getting met the way that you thought they would. And a lot of people come to us potentially because they feel stuck or that they've maybe had trauma in their past and they're looking to overcome these things to stop building this cycle of chaos. And what we do is we offer a really beautiful space for people to connect with themselves. We don't dictate, we don't teach, we support and guide. And that's one of our biggest ethos is we're not here to be dictated to, we're here to help you realize what you deserve in life. And that's what we do within our business. The whole structure is formed around that basis of being able to guide and support you to what it is that you really, truly want.
And that's great. So, we were talking a little bit about how we are taught, especially now that self-care and self-love and all these things, which I teach self-love, right? So, this is what I do. And you made a point about how there are even expectations around what that's supposed to look like. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so one of the things, me personally, and there is a lot of other people's opinions out there, so don't feel that I'm fitting you into another label or another box because I'm not. But one of the things that I really found is somebody that has a family, first and foremost, that's very neurodiverse. We have a neurospicy household and we do a lot of things. But one of the hardest and challenging things that I found for myself was when we looked around the whole meditation or self-care, there's expectations and there's criterias and there's conditions that we are supposed to fit into. When we look at the likes of taking care of ourselves, we're expected to do big grand gestures of self-care, take a hot bath and take time out and really connect with yourself. Or if you're going to do something that's for yourself, go to a class and enjoy yoga. And it's all these really big things. And meditation's another one. And you have to sit there for 20 to 30 minutes with yourself and really find out what serves you. And when you've got a busy mind and you've got a lot of other shit going on, that's not as easy as a lot of people can do. And one of the things that I realized is that a lot of the things that we're trying to fit into doesn't necessarily work for us, which then just reinforces the shame and the guilt of us not taking care of ourselves properly. But when we stop and think, having a cup of tea in the morning and taking 5 minutes out, that's a form of self care and meditation. You're taking 5 minutes out your day, going to the toilet and locking the door so the cats and the dogs and the kids and everything else can't get in. It can be a form of self care because you're taking a minute for yourself. Just so happens you're multitasking. But what I wanted to do and what I want to do is to help support people understand that just because you don't fit this society's expectation and guidelines and whatever else of how you're supposed to be doesn't mean that you're not doing it right. It just means we all have our own individual ways of doing the things that serve us. And if we can just take a minute back to connect back to us and go, what does actually serve me? What makes me feel good? Whether it's 45 minutes meditation and or whether it's taking 5 seconds in a toilet and having a pee and taking a deep breath, it still gives the same outcome because you are connecting to yourself. And I just want to help support that. For myself, I really struggled with meditation. I was told that I'm supposed to connect to myself through music and sit there and listen to this music and these things will come and you'll be able to have a heightened experience and awareness of who you are and what you want to be. I sat there and I did shopping lists, and then I worked out what I needed for my MOT and what size tires I might have. And then I was questioning if I'd recorded something, and if I didn't, would I be able to get it on the Plus channel? And then I was like, God, did I actually put that salt and vinegar crisps that the kids asked for a week ago on the shopping list? It's going to get delivered tomorrow. Oh my God, I forgot to do that washing, and that washing needs to be done and dried by tomorrow because I've got my life just didn't work around the standard versions of meditation. So I worked really closely with myself and was like, what is it that makes me feel good? What is it that allows me to take care of quite literally the mind monkeys, but still give myself self-care? And one of the biggest things that I came to realize is I do something a little bit different called working meditations. So I do tiered. So there's levels. So we do talking, where we take you on a journey and you listen, and the brain can't do lists and consider shit because you're too busy talking. So your brain's trying to listen to the narrative and keep up with what's happening. And then we do another layer, which is soft music. So if you want to not really listen to the voice, it's not loud and obtrusive. So you can just float off into the gentle, plinky plunky music that we have in the background. And then the next layer is we actually use vibrational frequencies, because one of the key things that I work with is frequencies. Our bodies are all tuned, and they're like finely tuned bits of kit. And if we're not fully aligned with the frequencies, it can cause chaos. So all my meditations have got Sophiago notes or quartz notes, all ranging between 432 hertz right up to the sort of higher versions, depending on where you are and what it is that you actually need. So we made sure that literally your mind, body, and soul is being fully taken care of. But one of the biggest key elements is that none of my meditations that I've now written myself are longer than 30 minutes. Why? Because as a mum and a business owner and a chaotic household, I just don't have that time to not feel guilty that I'm like, I could be doing something way more productive and multitasking than that 30 minutes. So 30 minutes seems to be like my crunch point. And a lot of my clients that I work with, they tend to say 30 minutes is something that I can work with. Anything more or anything less just doesn't seem to work. So we found a sweet point, and it's 26 minutes and 37 seconds or thereabout, because that's what we do in my world. That's how deep we go. So yeah,
Wow, that's
it's
so
just
good.
it's about that, isn't it?
Yeah, so I've started creating some meditations, and they're not going to be like what you do, and that's fine. But what you just said helped me recognize why I preferred guided meditations, because I'm trying to quiet the mind monkeys.
Absolutely. I think this is the biggest thing. There's not one shoe that fits all. And even if you have the same size shoes as somebody else, they're not going to fit like your shoes. We're all individual. We all have our unique patterns. We all have our unique styles. And that should be followed through in every single thing that we do. Every way that we look at everything that we want to be part of should all be looked at being as unique and as bespoke as we truly are, instead of trying to fit ourselves into boxes and labels.
Yeah, that's one of the things that as I went on my healing journey was I recognized I had been trying to be who the world told me I was supposed to be. And once I started to learn to be who God created me to be and
Yeah.
accept who I am, but that started by knowing who I was because I didn't know who I was. And so I went on this whole journey, and it's been an amazing ride. And now to be able to help other women do the same thing, it's amazing. So I am so excited to be connected to you, Sarah. We had such a great conversation. I'll have to bring you back for a part two for the other stuff we were talking about, and we can plan
Absolutely.
another time. That would be great. And I know that you said you have a course on your website that you're willing to give our listeners completely for free if they use the code SAM100. Would you
Yeah.
explain what that course is?
So we created a course called Reconnect with Your Higher Self Meditation. And we understood that some people are brand new to meditations, other people are more experienced, but we wanted to create a space that gave everyone the opportunity, regardless what level you were coming in at. And what we've done is created a beautiful, really gentle course for people to go through. So you understand and learn a little bit about meditation. You understand what it does to your body and its contributions to when you do meditations, what sort of effects you can feel. And then we take you on a couple of different meditations to help you connect with yourself, not only in a basis of being able to relax and reconnect and just release things that doesn't serve you, but also being able to come back to who you are, where you're supposed to be, and what journey you are actually on. So we allow yourself to cut out all the white noise and just go, what is it that I really want? Where is it I want to be? And how can I do that? And we've managed to capture that in one really beautiful mini course.
I will be honored to share that with our women, and I'll make sure that the links and the code are around the video, whether they're watching the video or listening to the audio. And I am just so excited to be connected with you. You have any final words before we wrap up today?
My biggest thing that I say to people is if we could all just slow down and just consider listening. And if you're somebody that's there around other people when there's chaos, just remember to ask, is there anything I can do to help? Because quite often it helps you regulate and recognize, and it helps them regulate and recognize exactly where you are, regardless if you're in a great
Yeah,
space or maybe a not so great space.
yeah, I love that. Oh, your kitty cat just jumped out. I was going to have you
Yeah,
show the cat.
she's here. She's a little rascal. Look, she is the biggest
Oh,
rascal in the
precious
world,
baby.
aren't you?
Oh, all right. Have a great afternoon. It's actually evening where you're at because
It
it's
is.
what, 6 hours? Is it 8:30 your time?
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
away to go and put my kids and my kitties to bed.
All right. Very good. So nice to see you, and I will chat with you soon.
Thank you so much.